And then these people were saying how the Brumbies have done this damage, and they actually have footage of four-wheel drives going through there. National parks, you know, they have these weed control quad bikes that they go around. I'd watch them spraying all the banks of the rivers. We're talking about pesticides. They've got Currumbin frogs there that are some of the most endangered frogs in the world, and they're spraying pesticides. And Aldwyn, you know how what we've dealt with up here with the Invasive Species Unit, and I have to call this out. The Invasive Species Unit actually poisoned me because they poisoned my creek with a fire ant bait because they blamed the fire ant. And of course, the rain runs off into the water, and I got so sick I couldn't move for 3 days. They also poisoned me under their helicopters when they were spraying around Currumbin Valley, and I lost lung function for a month. So I know how invasive species have pretty much harmed pets, people. Like, I can't tell you how much damage they've done to the southeast Queensland environment by pesticiding source waters. And as I said, I think yesterday, the source waters of the Snowy Mountains feed 3 states: New South Wales, Victoria, South Australia, and of course Canberra. So if you poison and use those weed controls, which they had been doing leading up to now, which they've been asked to stop because of the marine degradation that happened over the last 23 to 27, like we saw all the marine die-offs here. Remember when it rained and what happened in South Australia? They're poisoning source waters. So the Brumbies are the biggest cover-up I think the planet has for covering up the damage that was done by pesticides that were banned overseas in countries like China, who sold it to us, you know, banned in China, America, and Europe. And Australia had loopholes in their law that allowed all these toxic chemicals to come here. And because they released all these chemicals that they knew were degrading because they'd been banned overseas, the Brumbies had to be a storyline that they developed in order to get away with this. So, yeah, because I got so harmed by it, I have, you know, it doesn't bother me to tell them, no, they do harm, and they've harmed lots of people, lots of wildlife. So it's not an environmental group. The invasive species is probably one of the most toxic environmental groups I've ever heard of. And sorry. You know?
If you want to know what's going on, follow the money trail, as it says in the Thrive documentaries. Who's profiting from this? What is to come of all this? And if people just do a little bit of digging, a little bit of research, they will find the truth of what's going on here. And what we definitely know is that there's a lot of smoke and mirrors going on. There's a lot of false information coming from mainstream media and government.